Hey guys, Ashlane here, episode 156, coming at you today, highlighting a 3-star attack by yours truly. But the reason I wanted to bring you this attack specifically is because I wanted to talk you through a 3-star GoLava attack from the person who actually did the attack, because I knew exactly what I wanted to do, and I just want to talk you through my thought process, basically off the cuff here, when I go in and before I go in, what the type of things I'm looking for in a base. So I saw this base in LP2 clan, and it right away it stuck out at me. The reason being, only one expo was facing up, but more importantly, the queen was so vulnerable over there towards the edge. So I knew it was definitely a candidate for a GoLava attack, and I wanted to make sure I went ahead and I executed perfectly, because even though it is a good candidate for the attack, it's still a max base. It has max defenses. Granted, the walls aren't max, but the walls don't matter in a GoLava. So besides the cannons, the base is totally maxed out. So the heroes are not max. I should note that the queen is 30, the king is 27. So the king's just hanging out way down over there. The queen's over here near this edge. Now, the base design itself isn't too bad, but geez, those heroes just really ruin the layout. I mean, not to poke fun or anything, because like I said, it's not a terrible base, but what he would want to do is get that king and the queen inside where these gold storages are, because gold storages more towards the edge will actually be just fine, because it will create a hit point buffer, and then the queen and the king would be a little bit more protected in the middle there. You'd still be able to lure the queen out, but it would just be a little bit trickier this way. Anyway, let's discuss how I plan this attack first. Let's take a look at my troops and my spells before we go in. I'm going to zoom in on this part of the base, because this is where I'm going to do all the most part of the first phase of the attack. So, I have 2 golems, I have 3 lava hounds, I have 1 in the clan castle. So I have 21 balloons, 1 in the clan castle, 20 with me. I have 1 goblin that you can see I totally waste. I have 7 barbarians, because the clan castle is susceptible to a lure, so I went ahead and lured for this attack. So the reason I lured is, 1, because the clan castle, like I said, is so close to the edge, I could do it with just 2 to 4 balloons, and otherwise I could save a spell, a lightning spell, because normally I would have a lightning spell and probably 1 less freeze or 1 less rage spell. So anyway, I'm going to go ahead and start this clan war attack by luring the clan castle, and what I'm going to do is lure it to over here. I'm going to deploy the balloons in groups of 2, because you never know what's in that clan castle. It would only take 1 balloon to trigger a lava hound, but I would need 4 balloons to trigger a full clan castle full of all kinds of junk. So I'm going to go ahead and start the attack playing, and I'll talk you through what I want to do here. So I start 2, and I see that there's a witch that comes out right off the bat, along with a wizard or 2. So then I can stop there. So 2 witches, 2. So it's 2, 2, 3 in the clan castle. So that's actually a pleasant surprise, because I don't have to waste any more balloons. You can see this smushed balloon about ready to go down there. Yeah, boom. Okay, so now those 2 balloons are down, and the clan castle is totally out. So things are looking good right off the bat when I see that it's 2, 2, 3. Why are things looking good? Because I don't have to, like I said, I don't have to waste any more troops luring. Now, I could attack from basically 3 points to get the queen and the clan castle troops. Here's point number 1, which would be right over here between the barracks and the wizard tower. And point number 2 could be right over here near the mortar and the builder's hut, and between the mortar and the builder's hut. And point number 3 could be anywhere along this wall over here. I chose over here. I chose actually in between the archer tower and the builder's hut. I think this attack could have been successful from any of those 3 points. There's no way of telling, but the reason I chose over here was to possibly guide my troops. Well, there's a couple reasons, actually. I knew I was going to lure the troops all the way over here for the clan castle kill. And then I figured that I wanted to use the queen to lure my king and my heroes closer to the middle here. Best case scenario would be take out this inferno tower, but you'll see in the replay that didn't happen. in the second best case scenario would be to take out both of these air defenses here, and I guess by bare minimum I would take out the queen and one of these air defenses and the clan castle, which is all I'm really hoping for. So, like I said, the reason I didn't choose over here is because I thought that there'd be no chance I could get the Inferno Tower, or very slim chance, and there'd absolutely be no chance of me getting this air defense over here. So let's go ahead and resume the attack. You can see the lure I'm going to speed up. It's just typical, very barbarian lure here. Nothing crazy about it at all. So I'm luring the troops as far out as possible. Now this part I did want to just mention here, for those of you who haven't done a ton of luring, once I have the witches all vulnerable outside the walls, I drop both my golems at the same time. The wizards aren't going to be able to hit moving targets, so the wizards are not going to be a factor at all against those golems. So it's just basically those skeletons, and I place my queen and my wizards behind the witches, take them out first thing. That way they can't summon any more skeletons. I drop my king right away. The reason being is I wanted him to follow those clan castle troops and lead him right into the queen. You can see all those skeletons were still alive, so I knew they would lure my king into the middle there. So I'm going to pause for a second there, because I do think that's a really important point to stress there, is that when you got to find a way to get the king inside where you want him to engage the queen. Otherwise, he's going to go around. So that's one little trick to do it. If you have skeletons or barbarians or whatever the clan castle had, if those are on your golems, that's a great trick to go ahead and deploy the king right away, and the king will actually tail your golems into the area. So otherwise, you're just going to have to use wizards to clear out the outside units to keep your king on course. So let's go ahead here. I start deploying the balloons really soon here, the air portion, because as soon as I see that air defense go down, I'm going to go ahead and deploy. So the air defense is down. The king got it, so you can see that was the air defense right over here down. The queen's kind of doing her own thing up there, but I'm hoping she's actually going to get this air defense, and I think she ends up doing that. But let's go ahead and watch where I deployed the balloons and the lava hound and why. So I have 2 lava hounds already deployed. I have one, like I said, in the clan castle. So these 2 lava hounds are going to go for this air defense right over here, and I'm going to follow them up with some balloons. Now these balloons I actually dropped in 4s, I believe, because I used 2 fingers on the deployment, and I did like 2 taps each. So I did 8 balloons over here. Right in the window right now, you can see the 8 balloons. There's 2 groups of 4, I believe. Yes, and then I have a couple balloons over here, and I still have 10 to deploy out. You can see, note that I have 2 rage and 2 freeze for this portion of the attack. So before I go ahead and resume, I just want to walk you through what I was thinking at this point in the raid. So I knew I was going to be coming in through the southeast. I pre-planned that in my head, and what I wanted to do was, I know there's no air defense left over here, so if I deployed a hound in the south, where this hound is, I knew he'd have to make his way past all these defenses to either get to this air defense or to fly way over here. So I knew that he'd trigger all the air bombs in the area, or at least that was my hope. It turns out he's going to go to this one as well, so things are going to get a little cloggy over here, but the other main focus I have is on these wizard towers. So I want to be very careful of these wizard towers, these 2 especially, as I know they can take out my balloons if I'm not careful. So I want to put an extra concentration of balloons around this area at some point. So my game plan was to use my first freeze and my first rage over here and deploy the rest of my 10 balloons in this area. And because I know this is like a very defensively powerful area with the air defense, the archer tower, and the wizard tower, and then going into the multi. So my game plan was to put the freeze, put the freeze on the multi, and put a rage somewhere around this air defense to help guide the balloons into the multi-inferno tower, and I know there's going to be Teslas around that area too. Not too concerned, obviously, with the Expos at this point because they're facing down. So there's my nice big clump of balloons. You can see I have like 6 or 7 more balloons over here, so that's going to be plenty to take care of this wizard tower. And if you look at this wizard tower, if you zoom in, he's actually concentrating right now still on the lava hound, so he's not facing the balloons, which is great. So I have some balloons coming in this way. I have my original 8 balloons coming in through this area, and then I have these 2 balloons just helping out to take out this archer tower over here. You notice that the queen is still up, and I popped her ability right now in the raid just to help her get through that wall, and I really wanted to take out that air defense over here. So let's go ahead and resume play. So here come all the balloons. Everything's right now. This is the toughest part of the raid in my opinion, because this is where you want to rush the spells, but you have to be patient. Drop my first. I still haven't dropped any rages. Now there goes my first rage and my first freeze. I'm going to engage that first Inferno Tower. This is the most important part of the raid right here, where I drop that second rage, and it's basically I'm going to go ahead and you can see these lava hounds have made it to this air defense over here. The queen has taken out this air defense, so I know at this point with the balloons falling up these lava hounds that this side of the base is clear, and it's all going to be a race for these 4 balloons, one of my initial stacks of balloons, and these 2 balloons to take out this Inferno Tower and these 2 hidden Teslas before the freeze wears off. So you can see, I'm kind of worried, but then they get some balloon reinforcements here, which helps a lot. So freeze wears off right now, and you can see their health is starting to go down, but they take it out with plenty of time. I used that rage a little bit late on purpose, though. I wanted the late rage there, and there it is. As I get this expo down, you can see I wasted this goblin. He's behind there. He just died on that mortar fire. But goblin, the reason you use a goblin is just to help with the time on these raids, because there's not always, it might be an issue towards the end of the raid, and they can take out the hit points on these resources pretty quickly. But I have plenty of puppies alive. They're kind of, and I still have. Let's see how many balloons here. I guess it's really irrelevant, but God, it's a lot. Probably 8 balloons or so up there, and all the puppies are going to do plenty of damage. And I think I probably have about 30 seconds to spare at this point. Maybe I have 40 seconds left on the clock. So that was it, guys. That was an anatomy of a 3-star attack, and I hope you guys learned a thing or two by me talking you through the entire thought process there, why I attacked the base, and what I was thinking throughout the entire base, through the entire attack, rather. So, like I said, let me know how you guys do executing this attack. You want to look for villages like this, where you can lure the clan castle and take care of the queen at the same time during that first phase of the attack. So, guys, I hope you enjoyed this video, and tell your clanmates about me, like, subscribe, do all that fun stuff, and thank you so much for the support. Take care, guys.